Friday, everyone out there. It's at the end of a week that was partially holidays for me. So anyone who was watching last week will know that I took the start of this week off. So I was off Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, with the results that when I came back yesterday, I kind of came back with tons of energy, clear mind. It didn't feel like a particularly restful few days off because, you know, these days when you're actually trying to take a vacation or a holiday at home rather than away, it doesn't feel like quite the same thing. But it was still a bit of a mental refresh where I wasn't opening my email and I was just sitting and letting myself think, which is a very valuable commodity. I would recommend it. But when I came back, there were several topics that I was getting started with and things that I wanted to release and launch that I came back with a bang to go ahead and do. So, thank you very much. Do you like my cardigan? Yeah, this is, let me come back, it's Shaniko. It's kind of my throw-on cardigan. I think everybody has one of those where when it's cold, you put it on over things. It's like a bit like an oversized dressing gown for me, really, but it's very comfortable. It was because the temperature in Ireland has dropped down. We had a few days of warm sunshine, and then for the last 3 days, it has gotten really cold and down below freezing at night. And it's not just us. I know that there's an Arctic airflow that has dipped down over Northern Europe as well. So been watching a lot of the French grapes. I think they're worried about losing the crops this year in vineyards and things like that. So we're not doing so badly here. I just need to put on an extra cardigan. So not the end of the world. But what I want to show you as well today is something that really, I suppose, is kind of harks on to thinking forward towards spring. And I actually got a photograph of this here. This is Dusty Roads. I'll pull it in and show you in a second. Or Dusty Road, I should say. It's a remake of a sweater from a few years ago. And it's the original was done in a wool blend, and this one is done in cotton. And it worked out really nicely in cotton. I might just turn this around here rather than pulling it up. So this is done in a new cotton yarn I've started carrying, but I'll show you in a minute. Durable yarns, coral cotton. So it's a sports weight mercerized cotton, very, very reasonable, but it comes in this huge rainbow of colors. And so you can see that it actually knits up really nicely in stockinette stitch. You get a nice even stitch pattern, and I just love the way the lace turned out in the cotton. It just has a really nice shimmer to it, and all of the texture just kind of pops right out. So it was kind of it was a good match, and the yarn and the pattern seemed to play nicely together. So it's top down raglan sweater with the front of it and back in just stockinette stitch, and then the sleeves have got lace. Now it's a fairly big lace repeat, and so you can probably see here what I've actually done to make it a bit simpler is until you've got enough stitch for another repeat, you do it in stockinette stitch. And I actually quite like the little side diamond effect it creates going down here. And if I lift this up, the side of the body as well has one panel of lace going down and some very gentle waist shaping. So the pattern, it's up on both Ravelry and on my website. It's called Dusty Roads. And there's a yarn kit which is available separately for in coral yarn. Now, you may have some of the yarn available for yourself, a sport weight yarn, or something similar. Sport weight works best for it. But let me show you. I've just knocked down a really big basket of yarn there. This here is just a couple of the coral colors that I've got. I think this is really pretty. This is a raspberry color. And this is always my favorite. This is taupe, which is actually nice. I think it's a kind of a nice beigey color. Trying to find, there's a few other kind of purpley pink ones that I think are just super pretty. This one is plum, and this is a really cute light blue. I think that like this sweater would actually work very, very well in a light color as well, because the lace really pops out. I've got some kits put together, and the kits are just for the yarn with the and then when you put that together with the pattern, you'll get a discount on the two of them together. But if you don't see one of the colors you like from the coral range, just go ahead and put in the amount you want. Or if you'd like to see a particular color up as a kit, let me know and I can kind of start dropping them in, because it's probably there's only so many kits I can get up at a time. So if some of these colors start selling out, what I'll probably do is start swapping out and changing it for different colors. So if there's a different one you'd like to see that isn't up there yet, let me know and I can swap one color out for another as the different colors sell out. Because I've got 42 different coral colors in stock at the moment. So they had so many, I had a very, very hard time figuring out which ones to add up. So that's been what I'm working on. It's I'm really excited about it. The photographs turned out really nicely, and the fact that it was the last warm day before the cold weather descended made it extra special. Now, I also got another fun delivery yesterday. A couple of years ago, some of you might remember some of the badly made book cable notebooks that I had done, where we took some of my cable patterns and badly made books did notebooks with those as the covers. But what was actually really special about those is in the back of the notebook, as well as having like the front section, about 2/3 of it, I think, had one page was a blank page, and then the one next to it was lined. But at the back of it, we had knitting graph paper. So the stitches are a little shallower than they are wide, so that if you use it to draw up stitch patterns or to sketch things out, it's going to more accurately mimic the stitch pattern, the size of the stitch patterns. Well, we had originally 3 in the range, and as those sold out, they were kind of dwindling down, and I hadn't restocked in several months. So I've just got a whole new load of stock in, but we did brand new colors. So the first one is similar to what we had before. It's kind of an off-white with lots of little speckles. And anyone who has one of these already will know that they're all done in recycled paper, and the packaging is 100% recycled. And the quality of them continues to improve as Sean gets more and more new equipment, new staff to help him kind of get things streamlined. So this is one of the new colors, which I think is really fun. It's kind of a very light mint color. And that's one, you can see one of the cables in the front there, and it swings around the back. And this is the last one. There's the last one. It's a light brown color. And so you can see the different stitch patterns here. Here's one of them. There's the next one. And here is the second one. So you can see all of them on the website. When you go in, you'll have 3 different color options, and you'll have the option for cable A, cable B, or cable C. Anyone who's part of the Celtic Knits Club, I'm gathering all of the bits to get the next shipment out. I was hoping to have all of the yarn in the next week or so, but there's a slight delay in the mill. They've got some problems with their twister, so it'll be towards the end of the month before we can start packing. So I will make sure to let you all know if it looks like that'll cause any delays. But I did get from Suds Johnson, I got my very special delivery that smells delicious. So the entire studio now smells like, I think it's apricot oil is what's in it. It's really, really good. So I'm looking forward to being able to share that with you all, so that you get to see what it's like as well. Anyone who's on my newsletter, you'll have gotten a newsletter with all the new bits and pieces that I've been telling you about here, but this way you got to see them in person as well. So that's kind of my end of week update. I feel like I wouldn't have completed my week without saying hello to all of you. So say hello and goodbye at the same time, and I'll talk to you all next week. Stay safe, have a good weekend.